Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion hosted on the Paladino Live Network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to the show. It's a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. Another Friday morning. Kind of gray skies here, cloudy, overcast, a little bit of sun poking through. It's kind of the Timberwolves season at times. It's just, you just don't know. It's never clear, is it? Yeah, you went 8 in a row and you feel great, everything's fine, and then you lose to 2 depleted teams, and what the hell is wrong with you guys? It's the old, why can't we have nice things? I don't know. I just don't. Why can't we have nice things? That's a good question here in Minnesota. Every time something's good, you're feeling good about something here, the other shoe has to drop one way or another. Well, I don't know. Well, at least the team is relatively healthy, and that helps. I don't know. Obi Toppin, give me a break. That was some complete BS. And I don't know. I don't even know what to say about the Pelicans game, but well, I'm gonna have to say something when the time comes. Got the lemon and tomato juice ready to go. I didn't forget it. And I'm not. That was not lemon and tomato juice. That was coffee this time at the beginning. Because well, I'm gonna skip the lemon tomato. No, I'm not. But yeah, I almost should have. Right? It was like poison lemon. I was thinking of calling this episode that. We'll see. Well, we'll see. You already see the title if you're listening to the show. But at the moment I'm talking, I haven't decided yet. 4 games to review, 2 games to preview. Only 2 games to preview, and we get to get revenge. Yes. Well, anyhow, the Timberwolves beat Orlando 118-111. Crushed Utah 128-102. That's a revenge tour. The bullshit, yeah, I said it. The bullshit Obi Toppin game. God, that was complete BS. 130 in overtime. I think I did pick the Wolves to lose in OT, but I didn't realize they were so depleted, them being the Pacers. So that's kind of on me. And then you lose to Orlando, inexplicable. I mean, I don't care how good Zion Williamson has played against the Wolves. He is absolutely a Timberwolves killer. But come on, dude. Seriously? DeJounte Murray's out for the year among several other players. But the good news is, guess who the 2 teams we get to play in this upcoming week? It's only 2 teams. Who is it? New Orleans and Indiana.
And you're not Gibson, here I come!
So hopefully the Timberwolves can complete the revenge tour, because they're going to have to. You can't screw around anymore. Then we get to play a team that we're previously being dominated by. Now we're dominating, but I don't know. But that'll be next week's show. 3 days off, March 25th, 26th, and 27th are all off for some reason. I don't know why, but okay. Good for us, I guess. And then we eventually working our way into April already. Happy spring. It's spring equinox, at least on this side of the world. Over in Australia, I believe it would be called fall or autumn equinox. So I'm sorry. Unless you love autumn over there in Australia. Maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have spring than autumn. As nice as autumn is, I'd rather have spring. I like more sunlight, damn it. You know what? Lemon and tomato juice for that sunlight right there. Mm-hmm. Yep, there's that sunlight poking through a little bit. As slight as we have on this particular day, but generally speaking, more sunlight as we head into spring. Anyhow, now enough of my weather conversation and casual talk. Well, the Timberwolves beat the Orlando Magic 118-111, so it's not too bad yet. This is the 7th win in a row, 39-29. We're feeling good. This was an annoyingly close game, though. Like, come on. Paolo Banchero did torch us pretty good. For the most part, it took 32 field goal attempts to get to 43 points because he shot 2 of 7 from downtown, but 16-32 isn't that bad. In fact, it's 50%. So, I don't know. It does take a lot of attempts to get to the big numbers. So, whatever. Franz Wagner, 4 of 16. 16 attempts, 16 points. Ouch. Anyhow, but yeah, it was pretty much the Paulo Banchero show for the most part. Otherwise, Caleb Houston. Is it Houston? Houston. Caleb Houston with a nice solid game off the bench, 6 of 9 and 18 points, 6 of 8 from downtown. Whew. So he was scorching from beyond the net. And that, of course, kept the Orlando Magic in the game for the most part. Again, an annoyingly close game against a team that's, they're not as good as they were last year. It's the Orlando Magic. They're kind of in, they're kind of out. That's kind of their tradition. One year they're good, one year they're not. Jalen Clark, only 5 minutes. I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess just the matchup. And then Rob Dillingham barely plays at all anymore. In fact, this one he did not. He was a DNP, CD. Did not play, coach's decision. Anthony Edwards did officially lead the Wolves in scoring. He did drive to the basket a decent amount in this one. And that helped. 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Julius Randle, same thing. 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Jaden McDaniels, only 6 field goal attempts, 11 points, 8 rebounds. But he did get 3 steals and 2 blocks. Was pretty epic in the game at times defensively. And, yep, he's been called Diet Kawhi Leonard. I believe that's what he's been called by Tanae Brown and also by Phil Mackey locally. I think Phil Mackey stole it from Tanae, but that's just my opinion. Because Tanae, dang it. Yep, Tanae is the Timberwolves explosion emperor. Rudy Gobert returns, 12 points, 12 rebounds, good for him. He's just returns again, whatever. 2 steals. Conley was in there, 9 points, 3 assists. Like, you never know with Conley, but it is what it is, and it's fine. I'm not, demanding Conley is Mr. Iron Man all the time because at his age, it is what it is. Julius Randle, another solid performance. 22 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. So we appreciate what he brought. This wasn't the best game I've ever seen. In fact, it was, again, like I said, much closer than it needed to be. It was kind of annoying a little bit, but Anthony Edwards was able to kind of close this sucker out. Donnie DiVincenzo, 6 of 11 with 14 points, and NAW with 12 points off the bench. This is definitely not the highlight of the week. In fact, again, it's probably kind of the least interesting game of the bunch, kind of, sort of, even though you could say the Utah game was. This was more interesting than it needed to be because of how close it was. That's the whole point. And it's a long time ago, Friday, March 14th. It's like back in the day, man. Jeez. Where's Shaq? Where's Brian Shaw? Where's Dennis Scott? I don't know. They're, as Rick Pitino would say years ago, they'd be gray and old. Shaquille O'Neal is not walking through that door. Horace Grant's not walking through that door. And Anthony Hardaway's not walking through that door, and if they did, they'd be gray and old. We're young, exciting, hardworking, and going to improve. And all this negativity that's in this town sucks. That was a famous rant when he was the head coach of the Boston Celtics. When he talked about Bird, McHale, and Parrish walking through the door. Okay. Sorry I had to do that. I'm just, Go Rick Pitino, St. John's. Yes, go. Go Rick Pitino, yes. St. John's is my pick for the whole enchilada. Yep. He's got to beat Coach Cal now, so we'll see what happens versus the Razorbacks. Should be fascinating. Utah Spaz come to Target Center on Sunday, March 16th. Working on Purple Mafia in the free agency episode. Do check that out if you could. Vikings still looking for that backup quarterback, or, just holding out for a backup quarterback. They're not... it's not like they need to look for the searchlight. There's guys available. It's that they're taking their sweet time. And it won't be Aaron Rodgers as a starter, so that's okay with me. Anyhow, Anthony Edwards with 41 points against the Utah Jazz in a game that was, I guess, for a while closer than it needed to be, and then the Wolves just kind of pulled away as the game progressed, particularly in that third quarter. Again, it was annoyingly close for a little while there, off and on, as Utah would have their little runs, and the Wolves would kind of get whatever, slackadaisical, you could call it. Mr. Conley, inactive with rest. Inactive with rest, not IR, like injured reserve. No. Rob Dillingham with 9 minutes and 24 seconds of garbage time because it was a blowout. It was a blowout, ladies and gentlemen. 27 attempts from Anthony Edwards in the Palladino Joey scoring ratio. 27 attempts and 41 points. Plus 31 was Mr. Anthony Edwards, as was Jaden McDaniels with 20 points. 2012, hell yes. 20 points, 12 rebounds. Also added 2 blocks and a steal and 2 assists, if you can believe it. Julius Randle kind of quieting down a bit of late, but I guess it's okay. He's getting a little older, And again, like less minutes in this one. I don't know. I hope he's not banged up at all. But at the same time, again, he's the kind of guy you want to, preserve, if that's okay to say, preserve. Naz Reid shot like dog crap. 2 of 10. What happened here? 0 of 5 from downtown. But it's okay. We can afford it. It's games like Indiana and New Orleans. You can't afford Naz Reid to play like that. You're counting on more. This guy named Bones Highland suits up for the Timberwolves with 7 minutes remaining. Good for him. Made a basket, missed a 3. Also tacked on an assist. But, nice to see Bones Highland suiting up with the Wolves. Never thought that day would come. Coming from Denver years ago and the Clippers and all that. Obviously, familiarity with President of Basketball Operations Tim Connolly, who, again, we believe will be around longer than if the ruling was a little different. The arbitration battle between Mr. Taylor and the Laurie Arod group. So there's that. This was a fun game for the most part, just dominant. The steal that Jaden McDaniels officially had, it just felt like, man, it was just dominant. It was like a defensive line of players just smashing into a running back, a slot receiver or a quarterback, whatever. Like a strip kind of type of deal, strip sack without actually even being a sack, just kind of ripping the ball away and flying away for a dunk. I mean, that was fun to see. It felt like football, just kind of ramming into the guy, pulling the ball away, and, touchdown. Minnesota, basically. That was fun, entertaining. I thought Brian Flores might have been coaching the Timberwolves on the sidelines when I saw that, but it might have been. That was fun. That was the highlight of the game as far as I'm concerned. Other than Anthony Edwards getting 41, that's great. But I wish you could have saved that for one of these future games because, Lord have mercy. 8 wins in a row. You feel great. You're taking care of business. You're beating teams you're supposed to beat. And then you get the Pacers who have like 9 players out. Okay, now the Wolves, I know I'm slightly exaggerating. It's a back-to-back, but you're in the same building. You're in Target Center. You're at home. I mean, it is what it is. Obi Toppin was a prospect to come to Minnesota years ago in the same draft that Anthony Edwards was available. Because a lot of us didn't think that we would get the number 1 overall pick in that draft or anything. I mean, there's a possibility. You're hoping for it. And then we did. And it's like, oh my God, we're going to get that. That's the guy I would take, Anthony Edwards. Like I talked about before we even officially had the pick. I was like, Anthony Edwards is the guy I would pick because there was just more there, There was more there than anybody else. LaMelo Ball would have been my second choice. But there was more there, if that makes sense with Anthony Edwards than anyone else in that draft. Obi Toppin showed moments, this and that, but I mean, there was always this boom or bust thing with Obi Toppin. And I would say he's closer to bust than boom. Except in this stupid frickin' game. Really? It's so annoying. This kind of nonsense is so annoying. The guy's hurling shots up and banking off the backboard from the top of the key. Oh, give me a break. God, give me a break. That was BS. Falling away at the end and hitting that shot. So the frustration of that was disgusting. It was extremely annoying. It's also annoying, though, that the Wolves were in that position to begin with. It's like, come on. Like, why do you even put yourself in that position? Like, come on. Like, who's out again? Let's see. Pascal Siakam out. Naismith out. So Anthony Edwards can't block his shot in spectacular fashion. Tyrese Halliburton out. Miles Turner out. Like, what the devil, man? What are you doing out there? You can't beat these guys? See, again, should I say them again? Halliburton out. Naismith out. Siakam out. Turner out. Seriously? Isaiah Jackson, Yeah. Yeah, what the blankety bleepity bleep. This is BS. This is crap. You also had a moment, again, at one point where Andrew Nembhard was driving to the basket. Rudy Gobert kind of, I don't know what he was doing, kind of like shoulder elbowed the guy, basically in the upper body area. You could say close to the head, close to the face. And Rudy Gobert was ejected. And then Nembhard was also ejected. He got 2 techs called on the spot. Rudy Gobert, but flagrant foul you can expect to find when you see that type of thing. But obviously any type of ejection you're going to get fined at some point. But Nembhard, of course, threw the ball towards Anthony Edwards, and Nembhard was clapping at the fans on his way out. So it's like, okay, that's interesting. I know you're pissed off, you're irritated, like bleep you people, I know. I probably feel the same way. Yeah. Like you expect me to just take that? No. I didn't like taking Obi Toppin's BS shots though either. 7 of 10 from 3. Like that's complete BS. Like it's just one of those obnoxious, stupid games where a guy was highly touted years ago, basically a glorified role player, turns out to be a glorified role player, and then has a game of his life, and it's annoying as hell. It's just so annoying. Yeah. Ugh. In a game you're absolutely supposed to win. You're supposed to win this game. It's like a scheduled win. But the Timberwolves just didn't finish the job at all. A 41-point third quarter, you think the Wolves have a shot in this one. But again, it's just the fact you bleeped around in the second quarter. That didn't help. I mean, you're down by 14 at halftime. Like, what are you doing? Wake up. Wake up. You're actually still trailing after the third, even though you had a 41-point third quarter. You're still trailing. You schmucks. And then you wind up... having to go to OT because you can't make some clutch shots at the end. You can't finish the job. And then stupid Obi Toppin hits like these ridiculous shots. And it's just, I don't know, it was so annoying. 34 points for Obi Toppin. This was one of the most maddening games of the season. You could say this one's the most maddening. You could say the next one is. But these two are way, way, way at the top. The Warriors lost. You know that that's the best part? The stupid, obnoxious, jackass Warriors lost. With their Jimmy Butthead 16-3 record, since they acquired the Butthead. God, I want that team to explode right in their... I want that whole thing to blow up right in their face, like today. I wish it would. Least favorite team ever. Least favorite 2 players ever, basically. I mean, Butler and Steph Curry, least favorite 2 players ever. Call me an angry old man. I don't give a I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. I don't have to be a fan of someone, you don't have to like him. I've heard people say bleep Michael Jordan, and it's like, okay, to me that's dumb, but okay. You have a right to your opinion. So I feel that way about Steph Curry. Bleep Steph Curry. So, of course, they actually used the word. Anyhow, the Pacers went on and beat the Brooklyn Nets in overtime also against D'Angelo Russell, 105-99 last night, apparently. Sorry. Yes, that went to overtime on March the 20th. Sorry for that obnoxious throat clearing there display. But, oh my God, this game was so freaking annoying. Ugh. Anthony Edwards had so many highlight plays in this game. Spin and lay it in, getting around players, attacking the basket. Now, overall, the shooting sucked big time. I mean, 1 of 11 from 3. That's why they lost. Even though Obi Toppin was red hot and such, he probably still should have survived it. Anthony Edwards shooting 1 of 11 is not going to get it done. Driving to the basket, making 19 of 20 free throws is going to get it done. So it's like he made up for it by attacking the basket. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're shooting like crap, if you're a talented enough player. In my heyday, we can call it, my absolute heyday, if I was shooting bad, I drove to the basket. It's simple, right? Higher percentage. You can still be productive. Sad that it took 11 threes to, it was 11 threes, though, and just nothing was falling. So frustrating. So I said 1 of 11 from Anthony Edwards, 1 of 6 from McDaniels, 1 of 2 from Randall. Yeah, he only attempted 2 anyway. So Naz Reid, 3 of 7, sorry. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 0 of 3. So you combine Walker, 0 of 3. That brings it down to 1 of 11, or 1 of 14, And then, so that would be, get down to Jaden McDaniels, that's 2 of 20, that is 10%. 10%. 2 of 20 from 3 guys. So, and it's as simple as even one of them makes 1 more 3, the game's over. How about 2 of them makes 1 more 3? Game's over. Even more over, so to speak. So, this is just one of those stupid games that sends you home. Maybe you tear like maybe you have a physical ticket, if they still exist in this day and age. You just shred it in your hands and throw it over the balcony, like I did against the Washington Wizards years ago. When Anthony Peeler's stupid butt drove to the basket against 4 defenders only to get blocked, and we lost by a point. I mean, against a terrible Washington Wizards team. How do you think I felt about that? I shredded my ticket in my hand and flung it over the balcony like somebody that probably shouldn't be doing that, but I did it anyway because I was really mad. And yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. I know it's not that impressive. It doesn't impress anybody, but at the same time, you're not about impressing anybody in that situation. You're just pissed off. And that's how you feel about that particular game. You want no memory of it. You want it out of your head. Yet, here I am 25 years later, still pissed off about games like that. Yeah. Games like that. Moments like that. The kind of games that can make you punch a hole through the wall. You know how we joke about that, with like playing retro video games, like the frustration level. It's like that with watching the Timberwolves at times as well, or any basketball game. Any basketball game. You could be a fan of the Bulls in the 90s and still probably get pissed off, but probably not nearly as often. When you're one of those 50-win-ish type of teams that's competitive but never wins a damn thing. Yeah, of course you're going to like just snap and like want to break things. Especially in moments like that, because that's why you're never going to win a championship. Is games like that, It's just games like that, That's why you never win championships, because you can't finish. It's so bleeping frustrating, and that's why that team never won a championship. Hopefully, this team does someday. This year's team, I don't see it, folks. There's my hot take of the week, which is not a hot take. I don't see this team winning any title this year. I mean, you had some moments with this 8-game win streak. You felt great. But I don't know right now. Apologize if my voice is kind of, I don't know, like annoying sounding. It's still kind of recovering from a bout with, when you get food poisoning, you throw up really hard. Yeah, that was way back on Monday night, Monday into Tuesday, basically that night. Yeah. I ate something old accidentally for lunch. Yeah, and I didn't feel good about 6-7 hours later, so that was great. Absolutely wonderful. And it ruined my voice, but luckily it's good enough to do podcasting. Like, say, Tuesday, no chance I would do any podcast. All right, the stupid Pelicans game, or the bloody Pelicans game. Oh, it was bloody, all right. Wow. This is the game where you just boo the team right off the court. The Pelicans won their 19th game of the season. 19th. They've already lost 51. You realize that? The Wolves had won their 40th like 2 days ago, or 2 games ago. You couldn't beat a depleted Pacers team, and then this team also has guys out for the year. But of course, Zion Williamson's healthy, and he kicked our ass like he always seems to do so. Man, 12 of 16. Are you serious? He absolutely smoked us. Kelly Olynyk, 6 of 8. Kelly Olynyk, 6 of 8. Yves Missy. Ever heard of that guy? I have all his albums, It's awesome. 70s rock band. Yeah, I don't know. It's Yves Missy. 6 of 12. CJ McCollum, who's been a classic Wolves killer over the years. I don't think he killed us, but yeah, he tends to hit the shots when they matter the most. 3 of 9 from downtown. But McCollum historically has been an absolute Wolves killer. Zion Williamson absolutely is a Wolves killer. It's like when Zion Williamson is healthy, the Wolves lose to the Pelicans. Whether they're like a competitive playoff team or they're this 19-win nonsense. Like injury battered nonsense, basically is what they are. Mo Bamba didn't even play. Okay, that's interesting. In this situation, all right. Trey Murphy III, inactive. DeJounte Murray, inactive. Herbert Jones, inactive. Okay, these aren't huge names, but DeJounte Murray is. Who is their point guard? I mean, Jose Alvarado. Well, he's okay. Sorry, Jose. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name. Alvarado. It's not that hard. 6 assists in the game. Bruce Brown added 6 assists as well off the bench for the bloody Pelicans, mate. Very bloody. Oh, bloody. Bloody as in swearing. But really the big problem here was the offensive rebounds. They had 11 in the game, which, okay, it's, the Wolves had 9. Yeah, okay, we lost the offensive rebound battle by 2, right? But when it mattered most, it felt like, what was it, like 6-0? Yeah. It was like 6-0 when it mattered in the end. Get the bleeping rebound, you stupid sons of biscuits. Get the rebound. Rudy Gobert wound up with 9 rebounds. Didn't get suspended, of course, after his technical flagrant nonsense with some guy I've never heard of, basically. Yeah, you've heard of him, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's in the Pacers lineup. He's okay. Blah, blah, blah. Jalen Clark was very strong in the game. Almost 12 minutes, 9 points, 4 of 5. And does a lot of little things that you don't see. Nasri 3 of 11. Could be better. Could be a lot better, Nas. Come on, man. Come on, man. He was okay versus the Pacers, but again, big misses when they matter. God. Dante DiVincenzo feels like he's, 1 minute he's red hot, the next minute he's not. Kind of mediocre. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, 1 of 7. That didn't help. 0 of 3 from downtown. Another shitty game. There, now I'm swearing like every other like game here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get so vulgar. And I know to some people this is absolutely nothing. Like just listen to Joe Rogan, or Dan Bongino before he moved on to becoming deputy director of the FBI. It's like, people swear, on podcasts. I prefer not to because I know I have old classmates from school on. We went to a Christian school. We go to a church and all that. Yeah, I'd like to call myself a Christian. And I know it doesn't mean you're not a Christian if you swear. It's not the best. Anthony Edwards was 5 of 19 from the floor. Again, drove to the basket and all that, which is great. 15 of 17. I appreciate that very much. So that's good. Like he's making up for his crappy shooting. And wound up 4 of 10 from downtown. So Edwards, it's like, again, it's a maturity thing overall in general. Some of his shots, his shot selection stinks and it's frustrating. I don't know. And it's weird that he couldn't finish on some of these plays. Like 4 of 10 from downtown, that's, okay. 40% from 3-point range, it's not, it's good. It's not red hot. It's good. It's like average good, basically. But, man, lack of being able to finish at times. Like, what's wrong with you? So he was 1 of 9 when you do the math, right? Yeah, 1 of 9 outside of the 3-point line. What's wrong with you, man? So extremely frustrating there, missing some shots that just they need to be buried. They need to be buried. It needs to get done. Obviously, nobody's going to shoot perfectly, but come on, man. Conley, very efficient, 6 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 6 from downtown. Wonderful. It's just, I don't know, this was a slack-jawed, stupid, unnecessary loss. Like, unnecessary. You gave up 38 points in the second quarter, and only 24 lousy points in the fourth. Couldn't finish. Couldn't get the rebounds when the other team missed. The other team, called the New Orleans Pelicans, couldn't miss. Well, lemon and tomato juice for the New Orleans Pelicans, but it might be a poison lemon, so you better watch out. Food play. Oh, no! Yeah. Because there's this, yeah. I love lemon and tomato juice, and I thought about it, and I posted it right before the game. Like, whoa, how could I not talk about this? And then they lose. and then they lose to the Pelicans. Yeah, it's awesome, right? It's so funny. It's great. We lost to the Pelicans. Yes, we did. My God. 8 assists for Zion Williamson as well. It's like, I didn't even think about that kind of stuff. But yeah, he was moving the ball nicely. He was like a super duper Julius Randle, basically. Julius Randle had his ups and downs. He turned the ball over 6 frickin' times. He was 7 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 4 from downtown. Offensively, outside of like being terrible with the ball for some reason in this one, the Pelicans just kind of had him figured out, and he was rough. He had a really lousy pass. Of course, some stupid Warriors fan who thinks they're so cool wanted to post that Julius Randle turnover on Instagram. It's like, screw you. Luckily, I didn't get involved, but boy, did I want to. You can only imagine what I wanted to tell that person. You can go away. Away. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's all I meant. Yep. Filled in a couple other words. But, yeah, it was annoying. And I don't know. I can't stand the arrogance of Warriors fans. You've seriously, like, they don't have a humble bone in their body. Neither does the team. So it's like, it is what it is. Guess we get to deal with it for now, and hopefully the day's coming again where we could, thumb our nose at these jackasses and beat the crap out of them. But right now they're on fire, and we were on fire at the same time, and then we're losing to the Pelicans with lousy turnovers and such. Like, Julius Randle threw the ball to God knows where in one of his turnovers, and that was, obviously exploited. Finch's decision-making with the rotation has been brought up, and I agree. Why? Why isn't Terrence Shannon playing? Why? Terrence Shannon was never hurting this team. Never. He was actually very helpful. We could have used some life on the stinking team. We could have used some life against this stinking Pelicans team. 1 minute and 4 seconds for Terrence Shannon Jr. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Why? 1 minute and 4 seconds. Seriously, that's the best you can do? Nickeil Alexander-Walker shooting 1 of 7 isn't enough for you to wake up a little bit here. And obviously some nights Conley's like, he's like Methuselah out there. Some nights he's kind of good, some nights he's not. McDaniels also, again, struggled a bit in this one. Got into foul trouble, only 24 minutes and 5 stinking points. But 4 assists and 2 blocks, so he made up for it in some ways. But even, if Julius Randle's just a flat-out mess with the ball, I don't know. You can move guys around a little bit. I don't know what the hell. I just don't know. It's disappointing, extremely. I do think TSJ should have gotten some more playing time out there. Rob Dillingham, I know he's kind of a mess, but I hope we're not killing the guy's confidence. It is frustrating to see an 8th overall pick getting basically 0 playing time in March. Come on. He's had time to kind of sort of get acclimated to the NBA, hasn't he? So it's extremely frustrating to see that happening. Minot, obviously completely buried months ago now. Garza never gets in, but of course his defense sucks. We all know that. No, don't we? Most of us know it. Not everybody realizes it, but most of us do. Naz Reid, 3 of 11. I mean, that didn't help. It didn't help, even, when Randall's a mess out there and then Naz Reid's missing all over the place. Sometimes he's just pitiful in traffic. Just pitiful. So that's extremely annoying as well. Walker, I don't know what the heck's wrong with you the past couple games either. So, I don't know. Could use a little more help. So with that said, I think the semi-rant is over here. Whew, long first segment, but the second segment shouldn't be nearly as long because it's only 2 games. And there is no, whatever. It's not like hockey where there's a huge bunch of prospects, a huge grapevine of prospects. There are prospects, but not really. Not really like in basketball. The prospects are here, and they're sitting on the bench. That's right. Yeah, they're sitting on the bench. Isn't that wonderful? It's just wonderful. Yep. Thanks for that. The Mike Madonna, the Lone Wolf Award, the Anthony Edwards. I can't give him that. I can't create the award in his name yet. It's too early. The Lone Wolf Award for this episode. Jeez, it's not that easy, but it's Anthony Edwards. He, even though he shot poorly, he got to the line. He was the best player. He was simply the best player this week. The 41 points, the 29 points, and again, getting to the line, the 38 points, and again, attacking the basket. So it has to be Anthony Edwards, even though his shooting was kind of crappy. It has to be Anthony Edwards. Otherwise, the Johnny Flynn Memorial, it's going to go to both Reed and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 2 very popular members of this team that we would love to have back and love to stay with this team for the next 10 years. My hand's raised. Yes. Would you like Naz Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker to be on the Timberwolves for the next 10 years? Okay, 5 to 10 years, depending on what happens and this and that. Maybe you get tired of Walker or whatever. I don't know. I don't think you're going to get tired of Walker. If he shoots like this, it's going to wear on you after a while. But my hand is raised, yes. I'd like to keep both of them long-term if humanly possible. Again, more reason why the Timberwolves did what they did in the offseason, to free things up a bit. It's not greed. It's not being cheap. It's not being stupid. Sometimes you have to be more flexible because once you're in that second curtain, you can't do anything. You're literally like in Cap jail. You can't do anything. Do you understand? It's too hard. So that's where the Wolves were at. But yeah, Johnny Flynn Memorial, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, we could have used some help this week. We really could have. So with that, we'll take a quick break and preview the Revenge Tour, I suppose. Are you looking for a really nice Timberwolves-related Facebook page out there with cool fans and a wonderful host? Well, look no further than Wolfpack from Flip to Finch, hosted by Scott Doherty. He does a great job. Scott Doherty's an awesome guy, and the fan base on there, obviously passionate about the Wolves, but also respectful of other people's opinions regarding the team. Check out the page. It's awesome. Wolfpack from Flip to Finch. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 2. Sorry. Upcoming games, the Revenge Tour. We just played these guys. Come on, Mom. We just played them yesterday. Yeah, we'll play them again. You could do a better job, damn it. Go back to work. Go back to work, you sons of biscuits. Minnesota Timberwolves, on the injury report, no injuries. I think you know what I'm doing. Do you hear what that is? Yeah. I think you know what I'm doing. Please, please, please stay healthy. Trey Murphy III for the New Orleans Pelicans, shoulder March 17th. Happy St. Patty's Day, Trey. Brandon Boston Jr., ankle back on Feb 10. Happy birthday, Dad, February 10th. And nephews Max and Alex. 1 in a million chance they're listening, unfortunately, because nobody listens to my family doesn't listen to my shows, which is really sad, but welcome to Earth. And if you are a family member listening, say hi, please. Tell me, yes, I do listen. I heard that. DeJounte Murray, broken leg, fractured leg, bad injury back at the end of January. Unfortunately, DeJounte, speedy recovery to you, okay? New Orleans Pelicraps. No, it's a cool name. I like it, and it's got the lemon and the tomato. And I drank the whole thing. Oh, what was I thinking? It's gone. My lemon and tomato juice is gone already. But maybe that's a relief for the listeners imagining me drinking that hate tomato juice for some reason. I can't imagine why you'd hate tomato juice. I don't understand that. Team comparison: the Pelicans are 22nd. The Wolves are 17th in points. Rebounds: Pelicans are 21st. The Wolves are 17th in rebounds. 17th. Field goal percentage: the Wolves are 17th. What the heck? That's funny. Pelicans are 23rd. 3-point percentage, the Pelicans are 23rd again. The Wolves are 5th. Hello, we could use some help. Assists, the Wolves are 17th. What the heck? We're 17th in everything. Jeez, except now the Pelicans are 17th in turnovers, which again, all this 17, does that tell you the Wolves are a good team? Or does that tell you maybe they're not that great? As much as we want them to be, we believe they can be. They have the talent. They have this. They have that. They should absolutely compete. And they could go on. They could go on a playoff run, back to the West Finals, and who knows? Roll the dice. But if you're 17th in everything practically, well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we're 8th in free throw percentage and 5th in threes. 3-point percentage. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it some games. It feels like we're like 30th in 3-point percentage. Because this guy's 1 of 7. This guy's 1 of 11. Ugh. Anyhow, turnovers per game. New Orleans is 17th. The Wolves are 20th. We're worse. We're worse. Yeah. Assist to turnover ratio, we're both tied at 15th. Funny. Block shots, Pelicans are 7th. The Wolves are 16th. Steals, Pelicans are 8th. The Wolves are 11th. Okay. The season series is a tie. The Wolves beat the Pelicans in a 104-97 battle that was kind of probably closer than it should have been. And then the Wolves lost in a battle that was closer than it should have been in Target Center this past week. I think I already talked about that, though, just a little bit. I think I had a couple things to say. Pelicans are 2-3 in their last 5. They had lost 3 in a row coming to Target Center. After beating the Clippers on March 11th, they lost to Orlando, San Antonio, Detroit. Detroit was an absolute ass-whooping, 127-81 versus Detroit, and then recently beat the Timberwolves. Bull crap. And then we play them again. Yep, that's the next game, and that's tonight. Friday night in Target Center. Revenge Tour. Get it done, guys. Get her done. Time to do a little Scary Gary Boss Beaters, huh? Video Games 101, that's a YouTube channel. New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson. Box out. Get the rebound. Take advantage of his shorter height at times. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, sorry. Attack the basket. Get him in foul trouble. Kick out for open threes. Just make your damn shots. Take him down. Thanks, Gary. That's a good call. No, sorry. Well, that's about it. I mean, that's kind of just play your game, show up, rebound the basketball, box out. Yeah, box out again. Yes. Come on, third graders, box out, right? Till people are talking about that. Like, that's third grade conversation. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is. Zion Williamson is averaging, I thought I saw 24 points. No. 24.6 a game. His overall field goal percentage is 56. Yeah, because obviously, again, it's not easy bodying up to the guy. pray to God you get him in foul trouble. it's possible. Hopefully you can get him to force a turnover. Yeah, like Brandon Ingram wasn't even mentioned on the injured list. He didn't play, did he? Don't think he played last game, did he? I certainly didn't mention the name. So only 18 games this year. It's just a mess of a team. McCollum's 3-point percentage is 37.5. Murray's obviously only played 31 games. He's out for the year. Kelly Olynyk recently acquired. Torched us. I don't know. Just play better defense and just make your damn shots, that kind of thing. Keep attacking the basket like Anthony Edwards, generally speaking, but hopefully he can shoot a little better, generally speaking. Yeah, it's a winnable game, and I do predict the Wolves will win this frickin' game. I think the Wolves owe this Pelicans team a nice, good thrashing. I don't predict a Detroit versus New Orleans type of thrashing, but I do predict a 12-point victory. It's okay. It could be better. I can't predict this team to thrash the Pelicans. I just can't do it. But the Wolves will win this basketball game by a final score of 122-110. Anthony Edwards with 35 in this game. Frickin' Pacers. Ooh, you sons of biscuits. Obi Toppin is not going to shoot 7 of 10 from 3-point range in this game, okay? It's not going to happen. It's just simply not going to happen. And if it does, I don't know what to tell you. They are a decent basketball team, but there's a lot of players out, okay? A lot of players out. But Pascal Siakam is not on the injured list on this time, but Tyrese Halliburton with a back apparently March 16th. Isaiah Jackson's been out for a long time, going back to the beginning of November, basically the beginning of the season. The Pacers are a dangerous basketball team, and I actually did predict the Wolves to lose that game, but again, I didn't expect, half of the team to be out. Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. That's a big difference. It really is. Those are the two huge names that you thought were going to play. I'm going to go back here. Did Pascal Siakam play in this recent one versus the Brooklyn Nets? Because if he did, okay. I mean, it's going to be a tougher game, I'm sure. Come on, that's Brooklyn. Damn it. Oh, yeah. D'Angelo Russell, 22 points on 22 field goal attempts. 7 of 22 from the floor, 3 of 12 from downtown. That sounds like D'Angelo Russell. He's just a mess. But when he makes a shot, oh, boy, you need him. He's a stud. Okay, Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam played. Siakam did a whole lot of little things. He did a lot of little things that only made 6 points, only scored 6 points, but did a lot of other little stuff. Well, big little stuff, but including 4 turnovers, though. Miles Turner was outstanding, so watch out for that. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks. 5 blocks. 8 of 11 from the floor. Obi Toppin, 0 of 2 from 3-point range. That's what we need to see. Once again, Obi Toppin returns back to reality. Because he's not that good. Obi Toppin's not as good as advertised coming out of that draft. A boom and bust type of a guy, and that's what he ended up being, kind of boom and bust, basically. 40 and 29 are the Pacers. Pascal Siakam officially leads the team in scoring, 20.8. Tyrese Halliburton, he's probably not going to play, but when he does, he's insanely dangerous with assists and 3-point shot, of course. 3-point shot is, sometimes he's capable of just torching you. 38.7, but I don't think Tyrese plays. And if he does, well, it's going to be a little harder. A little bit. Turner blocks almost 2 shots a game. Can I say this? Can I please say this? Who would you rather have, Miles Turner or Rudy Gobert? Miles Turner. Okay, you get the point. Yes, I'd rather have Miles Turner. Enough of my little bit, I guess. Obi Toppin's 3-point percentage on the year is 35.5, so it's reasonable. But he only averages, 1.3 made a game, but he made 7 against us last week, which, again, I'm not that bitter about it. Oh, yeah, I'm bitter. Damn it. It's a bunch of nonsense. I remember when, John Barry years ago on Sacramento went absolutely ballistic in a game and was just kind of dancing all over us. It's like, dude, get the bleep out of here. You'd be tempted to fly off the bench and slug the guy in the face. It's so annoying. Get out of here, man. Seriously. It's so obnoxious. Don't you know when you see them acting like that? You haven't done anything, Now you have a good game and you go crazy. But anyhow, I'm a little more concerned now. But I don't care. Wolves need to win both of these games, and they are going to win both of these games. Damn it. Damn it, they are going to win both of these games. They're going to do it. Timberwolves are 17th in points. Pacers are 5th. Okay, well, yeah. Well, yeah, we're 17th in everything. Let's just pretend that. 28th in rebounds by the Pacers. 3rd in field goal percentage. 6th in three-point percentage. Bull crap. 5th in turnovers. Wow. 5th in assists. Wow. 2nd in assist to turnover ratio. Again, this is mostly Halliburton there, though. Block shots 11th, Miles Turner. 9th in steals, Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. Along with the blocks as well. Pacers have been playing pretty well despite being hurt. Like they went out and beat the Mavericks the next day, and then they beat the Brooklyn Nets. They have, Halliburton, will he come back? I'm not sure. But I think the Wolves kind of complete a revenge tour with 2 wins. And I'm stepping out in faith. And put it this way, you need to win both of these games, period. Like last week was bullcrap. You need to win both of them. You split these games or you somehow ridiculously, inexplicably lose both. I don't know, man. Just go home. just go home. Get your golf bag, Just pull out the golf bag. Heck with it, Go golfing. If you lose both of these games, you're not serious. Just go golfing. Plan your tee time, okay? Enough already. Or your fishing trip or whatever you do. I don't really care, frankly, at this point. But if you're serious, you're going to win both these games. And I'm going to step out in faith that you are serious to a point. Grand scheme of things, I do not think this team is serious. No, I do not think this team is making a long run. I don't, because they're not consistent enough. Just like Gopher hockey. They're 4th in the country. Oh, here we go. Yeah, but they can't win. They can't even win 2 games in a row. It's like bleep you guys. You have to win at least 4 in a row against extremely competitive teams to win the NCAA tournament in hockey. In basketball, how many? Like 6, 7? It's ridiculous. But St. John's, hopefully they can take care of that. Yeah. But it's like stuff like that. Basketball is much, much, much more of a marathon. So, I don't know. Who knows? You get hot, you get the job done, you survive falling behind in a series or something and come back and win. Whatever it is. Or you survive blowing a series lead like we did versus Denver. That was fun. But then completely, fall flat on your face versus Dallas, which was stupid, in 2 winnable games in Target Center. Oh, that hurt. That was painful, man. But the Wolves will beat the Indiana Pacers. Final score I just expect a competitive, angry Timberwolves team to come out and show up and get the job done. Mr. Julius Randle has a much better game here and finishes with 28. The Wolves end up winning the basketball game by a final score along the likes of 125 to 123. Very close, but the Wolves get the job done. Maybe a big defensive play late to finish things off. Maybe a Anthony Edwards or Jaden McDaniels block that kind of ends the game, and the Wolves get the victory in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Wolves will sweep this week against these 2 teams, and they absolutely must if they want to even pretend they're serious. With that, we'll take a quick break and come back for fan interaction. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion Fan Interaction segment, or so I'd like to believe so. The Instagram, I thought I had here. What did I share? Okay. Yep, the tomato juice thing. I'm not sure I got any reactions for those. The Instagram is Timberwolves_explosion. Unfortunately, things taking forever to load. Of course it is. Facebook.com/Timberwolves Explosion is the Facebook page, of course. So, going to Instagram here. Again, if you could like to give this a follow, that'd be great. Really appreciate it. Give the Instagram a follow. We could use some love, of course. Don't think there's any interaction. Just some likes and stuff here and there. So, that's always fun. The Twitter account is TWolvesEX, at TWolvesEX, more properly said. Those of you that retweet the show, really appreciate you. I don't think people have been seeing it lately, or I'm not seeing it. Looks like Vince reposted it. Yep. I think that's last week's show. Well, it's one of them. It's actually a few shows back, I think, already. Yep, I don't know if you're not seeing them, maybe. or I'm not seeing the retweets that normally are there. Not sure what happened. But I appreciate when you do retweet. It means a lot. It really helps the show in so many ways. Oh, yeah, something I brought up a long time ago. Unfortunately, got no response. I don't know why. But I suppose not everybody cares about it as much as I do, I suppose. The Seattle Supersonics, 4 different logos over the course of their history, dating back to the beginning, 1967 to 1970. And then the one that I think is the best, 1975 to 95. I was asking which one do you guys like the most, and nobody said anything. I think Vince retweeted it. Then there was that Christmas color one, 95 to 2001, when they played the Bulls, and all that in the finals. A lot of people have that one as either 1 or 2, which I find kind of surprising. And then the last one, some people love, some people hate. It brought back the green and gold look that the Sonics had, but it's not nearly as interesting. For me, it's always going to be 75 to 95. Like, that's the Sonics, dang it. That is the Sonics, and I hope if they come back to the NBA that's their logo. The one where it's like a basketball with a city skyline. Seattle Supersonics, green, gold. It's by far the best. I do not like the Christmas color look. I was disappointed when the Sonics did that. Some people like it, some people don't. I remember it was funny when the Minnesota Wild came out and they had the Christmas color thing. I'm like, they look like the Seattle Supersonics, basically. Or Seattle Sonics, whatever. The original logo, it's cool. It's just kind of, I don't know, it looks like the 60s. It does, and it's fine. It's not bad. It just kind of looks like the 60s, early 70s look, which I suppose there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not as, I don't know, it's not as interesting as the 75 to 95 look. So, I don't know. I should have maybe put out a poll, but I didn't even, but it doesn't let you have the image with a poll, which is kind of dumb. Maybe if I had a premium account or something. At T-Wolves EX, apparently Soda Popinski followed, which I think is really cool, from Punch-Out. Mike Tyson Punch-Out, or Punch-Out in general for Nintendo. I suppose he's in both of them. Looks like it's mostly likes, not really responses, and then eventually things pick up as we move forward. Yep, and I was asking for how people feel about the last week. I don't know, today must have been busy. Yep, just likes. So I understand. But we did get to hear from a Hopeless Wolves fan, and of course Vince Romano, absolute legend of the show, a great friend, of course. We'll open up with Hopeless Wolves fan, because that was further back, a couple hours earlier from the other. Again, asking how you feel about the Wolves last week or whatever. Hopeless Wolves fan says, not too surprised, to be honest. This is the team's identity. They can beat anybody, but can lose to anybody. We saw this a bit last year against Denver in the playoffs. They either have it or they don't. They don't have a real middle ground. I agree. That's kind of what it's like. They don't have a middle ground. They're either way up there or really crappy. It's really annoying. Like, you can't beat... Yeah, you can beat Denver, you can kick Denver's butt, and then you can't beat New Orleans. And then you lose to Utah. What the heck is that? Then you beat, Oklahoma City. It's weird. Like, you're really competitive against Boston, whatever. And you can't beat when Detroit was real bad, or you lose to the Wizards. It's stupid. Or Charlotte. What the heck are you doing? Vince Romano responds with 8 wins in a row. Celebrated in this league. Anyone can beat anyone on any given night. I agree for the most part, except for... I agree. I understand with the 8 wins in a row and you should celebrate it and anybody can beat anybody. But I do think a lot of us are... I think we have a right to be pissed off, though, right? I mean, you would be too, right, Vince? Be pissed off losing to some of these teams. And I know anyone can beat anyone. And, and at the end of the day, yeah, it's on the Timberwolves team with their healthy lineup, by the way, to get the job done against these not healthy teams. Teams took advantage of us when we weren't healthy. That type of thing. We definitely can't cry, guys are out, kind of like the Minnesota Wild can do right now. Obviously, Kirill Kaprizov's pretty important. So he's the Wild's Anthony Edwards, basically. He's out, you're kind of in trouble. That kind of thing. Just a little bit, just a little bit. It is nice to celebrate it. It's just a damn shame that you'd blow 2 games like that. It's one thing if you lose one, but you lost both of them, which is really dumb. So that's where the frustration comes in. Sorry if I come off as too negative sometimes, but at the same time, I have to be honest as well. Give an honest assessment, and utter frustration. So with some of these losses and the fact that they're kind of what they are. They kind of are what they are, and that's why I'm not all too ultra confident that this team is going to go on a huge playoff run because I just don't see it happening. I just don't. And if they do, good for them. They, we, us do good for the Timberwolves if they can get that done. With that said, I think I've made my point. I wish all of you a wonderful week. Wish the Timberwolves to go out and be successful in their revenge tour this week. It's nice that you have an opportunity to get back at these two teams and get the job done. Stay away from flagrant fouls or anything like that. Just beat them on the scoreboard. That's it. So hopefully there's no craziness out there, no injuries, no fights, nothing crazy like that, and that the Timberwolves go out there and beat them simply on the scoreboard. With that said, again, have yourself a wonderful week. Other thing as well, if you could put a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything like that. Apple Podcasts or Spotify in particular, it would be greatly appreciated. Share the show, retweet, repost, whatever. Twitter/X, Facebook, Instagram. If you could retweet the show, share it to your friends, tell your friends about it, it'd be greatly appreciated. It really would be. It means a lot. And I don't know, sometimes this show feels like it's growing again, and then sometimes it feels like it's not. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. It's had some positive vibes of late, but, it has its ups and downs. And it's kind of been that way forever. It looked like things were really heading in the right direction many, many years ago. And then everything just kind of stopped. And it was just like reality set in, Obviously, the team fell off the face of the earth with injuries going way back in the day. But I don't know. We're kind of all too used to that around these parts. Guys, stay healthy if you can. And all of you have a wonderful start to spring, or you're in Australia and New Zealand, autumn, I suppose, as you're heading into the autumn equinox. But at least we're in equinoxes. Sometimes those are better than the solstices. At the end of the day, it's more gentle, more mild weather, one way or another, though sometimes more dangerous, too, with storms in spring in the United States. With that said, take care, God bless, and we will talk to you in a week.